The doorbell rings. Beryl is no longer on my lap. She's by the front door barking. I grab my purse out of my handbag and run to the door. The delivery boy passes me my food, and I put the bag on the floor while I root through old receipts, shopping lists, hairbands, pens, and chocolate bar wrappers that line my purse. I find the correct change, although he doesn't look too pleased when I sprinkle a cascade of 5, 2, and 1 pence pieces into his hand. I thank him and close the door. Beryl happily chomps on a prawn cracker and doesn't notice me wander into the kitchen. I open the back door and Beryl saunters out into the garden to do her business. I take a clean plate out of the dishwasher and look for an empty space to put it down. I put it on the hob and open up the steaming food containers. Beryl comes back in and I lock the door and pull the curtain across. I pour out half of each container onto the plate and carry it into my study, picking up a fork and a set of chopsticks on the way. I know, I've been told never to eat where I work, but I'm a busy girl and I've got to finish the mate states profile and write some more to my first chapter. There's no time for a break. I ponder my hobbies and interests, so I wipe sweet and sour sauce from my chin. Foreign food. I like foreign food. I type foreign food and delete it. I can't write that. That makes me sound a bit racist. Exotic food. That's it. I like exotic food. I type exotic food. And culture. I know I haven't travelled as much as I would have liked, but I have been to Japan and I liked the culture when I was there. I type and culture. A mushroom escapes my chopstick's grip and rolls across my keyboard. I stab it with one chopstick and make sure it gets into my mouth. I look at the screen to find that one of my hobbies is I think about leaving it in, as it could be some sort of Japanese delicacy, but decide to delete it as I don't want to appear more stupid than I already do. That's got to be enough for now. I can add more later when I think of them. Beryl drags the throw from the armchair and fights with it, shaking it in her teeth until it's dead. Once it's dead, she lays on it so it can't escape. I never realised my knitting could be so dangerous. Knitting! I like knitting. I type "neh" and then quickly delete it. I can imagine it now. Hello, would you like to date me? I know I'll get on well with your family, especially your grandma, as we have the same hobbies. I like knitting and I collect cardigans. I do like knitting and I do collect cardigans, but I think I'll leave that information with the other skeletons in my closet. Strangely enough, I've never actually knitted a cardigan. Maybe I should put that on my to-do list. I don't have a to-do list, but now is as good a time as any to start one. I see a notepad poking out from under a pile of papers and envelopes on the table next to my desk. Some of the paper pile falls down behind my desk. I'll sort that out later. I pick a pen out of the peanut butter jar on my desk. It doesn't work, I put it back. I pick another. It doesn't work, I put it back. I pick out a pencil. I write "to-do list" at the top of the page and underline it with a squiggly line. I write 1. Make a to-do list. I tick that one off straight away. 100% of things done. I'm so productive. I write 2. Write a masterpiece. That one will probably be there for a long time, but still needs to be done. I write 3. Finish the stupid mate states profile. I'm glad I'm writing this in pencil. I'll be able to rub it out when I get so frustrated with it that I throw my computer out the window. I write 4. I tap the pencil against my lip. What else do I need to do? I look around my study. Nothing at the moment. I look back at my to-do list. Number 1 is done. Number 2, well, that's an ongoing project. I'll never get that finished right now, so I'll leave that for the time being. Number 3, I can get that done now, and that'll be another thing ticked off the list. I look at the computer screen and click Next. I'm presented with a list of questions, otherwise known as the basics. I'm single, 5'11", thin, Caucasian with brown hair and hazel eyes. I don't smoke, I drink socially, I don't have children, but I do have a dog. I choke on a king prawn as I read the next question, and a blob of half-chewed rice flies out of my mouth and lands on the computer screen. I wipe it off. How often do you exercise? I click the drop-down box. Every day, 4 to 5 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, once a week, less than once a week, never. I click never, but that will make me sound like a fat, lazy slob. I pop the last chicken ball into my mouth. Surely walking across the road to my car counts as exercise. Sometimes I have to run if there's a cyclist zooming along, and I take Beryl out for walkies every day, pretty much, when I remember and when I can be bothered. So exercise, I click the drop-down box, every day. I type writer next to profession, even though I've not made a penny from my writing, but it makes me sound a bit more interesting, and unemployed would make me sound like a lazy fat slob. I leave income blank, which adds some mystery and intrigue. I could be an artist starving in my garret, or I could be a millionaire finalising my next movie deal with Hollywood. I open the drawer next to me to see if I can find a napkin. My sleeve isn't up to the job anymore. I find a bottle of electric punk nail varnish. It's blue. I paint the nails on my left hand. I now can't do any typing until it's dried. I pick up my plate in my right hand, take it into the kitchen and put it into the sink. I notice my phone in the cutlery drawer on the draining board. I don't remember putting it there. The angry Cyclops eye is winking at me again. I have 3 missed calls from Louise and a text message from Louise. I open the message. Fat lot of good you are. I needed you to get me out of this date, and where are you? How often do I ask you for something? All the time, Louise. All the time. I'm coming round. You'd better be there. At least I know you can't set your doorbell to silent. Brilliant. Just what I need. An interruption when I'm working on my book. The doorbell rings.